Hello, hello, hello. I am in Mysuru. I'm at my mom's place. I'm on the terrace, and behind me you can see the Chamundi Hills. So it's pretty quiet here most of the time, especially in the night. Uh, the silence just cloaks the whole area, and except for like an occasional dog bark or something, it's usually pretty quiet. And I've been here for like a week now, and I keep thinking every time I'm here, it is so nice to have some quiet nights, isn't it? Especially if you live in a noisy city like Bengaluru or say Mumbai and etc. So I thought it would be nice to make this video here because it's about noise. You might have gathered that from the title already. I understand that in a city like Mysuru, which is laid back and called pensioners' paradise among many different things, yeah, the noise factor is sort of understandably low. However, when so many of us migrate to bigger cities in search of a good job, a life full of the luxuries and comforts that we can afford, chasing our dreams, trying to make our lives as meaningful as possible, as fun filled as possible. I don't want to talk about the density of population because I myself, by just existing, am contributing to it, and hence the noise factor, because that is something that we can work on and make our cities quieter. To begin with, traffic. I remember reading somewhere on social media a few years back a line that has stuck with me. It said, "We are not victims of traffic, we are traffic." And I guess that's the day my arrogance about, complaining about traffic jams actually took a hit for the good. Because isn't that true? I mean, we are traffic. When you're stuck in a traffic jam and you want to cry your eyes out or yell your lungs out, uh, you need to realize that you are there contributing to the traffic. That line made me think about traffic in a very different way, because when you look around, when you're stuck in a traffic jam, when you look around, everybody is just trying to live a decent life just the way you want, right? And I don't think there's any point in complaining about how many people are there in a traffic jam. However, the noise, all the honking, my goodness, the madness, the frenzy, I think that is something we can take care of. You might have noticed that when you're in front of a traffic jam and the signal is in its last 10 seconds or so, people behind you start honking. You're almost mad to be still, wanting to see the green signal to go forward. It's pretty amusing, because maybe the same people, if they are in the front and you start honking at them, they might say, "Are you blind? Can't you see?" And also, doesn't it take like at least 2 seconds to work your clutch and gear and accelerator and so on to move forward? And I just don't understand the sheer impatience, the apathy, the indifference, and sometimes even arrogance in the way people honk. And some people have the audacity to even yell at others if they just don't move in like a nanosecond, like that were possible. All of us are trying to get somewhere. It's not like it's a race, and people are not mad to just stand still even when the signal turns green, right? And even if they're taking a couple of seconds, it's all right to just wait it out for a second or two. So that's one thing, traffic. Other places where I feel like maybe there is a part of us that's really scared of silence, because looks like that is how we behave. Imagine you are really desperately wanting a break from all the city noise and you take off to the mountains, say Himalaya, and it just takes that one person to play loud music on their phone or speakers. It just takes that one noisy group that's partying, having fun, even in the Himalayan mountains, in a remote Himalayan village. I mean, I understand that for a lot of people, fun means loud music and shouting, screaming, but maybe not at the expense of others. If you just want to shout and scream and party without actually taking in the serenity or the quietude of a place, you might as well do that at home. Back in the city, there are a lot of people who go to the hills or the mountains or forests in search of silence, and I guess we should be a little mindful of that. And maybe entertainment and fun need not always mean noise, and it becomes so embarrassing and even difficult to request someone to sort of tone it down or turn the volume down. I have had some really unpleasant conversations with people, even when I've gone to them with all the pleases and sorries and thank yous. Nothing works. It just becomes a very ugly thing most of the time. I don't know how many of you have experienced this, and if you have, please kindly leave a comment below so that I don't feel very alone in this. Another place I can think of where noise can get to you are the cinemas. There are a lot of us who go to a movie to experience that big screen magic in a dark room. We are very watchful of every little detail, like the background score, the dialogue, the intonation of the actors, and all these nuances that you can perceive when it is quiet. And so many times there is that one person who is explaining everything to someone sitting next to them, or there's that one person who just turns the cell phone on in a very intense moment in the movie. There is that one person who gets on a call. Actually, let's not even begin to talk about how so many of us don't turn our cell phones off or put them on silent mode when we're in the theater. But yeah, there are those who just pick up a call and talk loudly as if everyone in the cinema hall needs to know where they're going out for dinner after the show. So when we are in public spaces, maybe it will be nice to be a little more watchful, be a little more thoughtful, and not ruin a collective experience for those around us. You see all these spaces that I'm referring to, be it a traffic signal or a movie or a forest or the mountains and the hills. It's not just about us, is it? And silence is actually something a lot of people seek very desperately in these very noisy times. So I guess we should do whatever we can to respect that. And hey, I myself have been quite guilty of this, especially when I have friends over late in the evenings and we are all in high spirits and having some really interesting conversations. Maybe I have ended up disturbing my neighbors too. But I guess by talking about this, maybe I'll also try to be even more mindful, considering the decibels that we deal with. Oh, there's smoke. Anyway, it's not noise. So, considering the levels of decibels that we deal with in the cities, in some cities, I guess it'll be nice to come across as someone who is not afraid of silence. So I guess that's that. And ironically, it's been so quiet this entire week, and today when I'm talking about silence, there's a speaker there, someone is playing loud music. I hope this stops soon. So until then, I'm just gonna stay here, enjoy the view. If I scoot a little bit, I actually get a better view of the hill. So please leave your thoughts about noise and silence in our cities in the comments below, and I would love to read them. And I'll also come back with another rant next week. Until then, have fun, hopefully without making a lot of noise. See you next week. Bye.